the time. And what ends up, what do they end up getting?
Sunburns.
And spots. And then they go, every year they go to the dermatologist. And what does the dermatologist do? Freeze them off, and you know, that's X number of dollars. When we make sure that they have enough fruits and vegetables, they go to the dermatologist year in, year out, and they get nothing frozen off their head anymore. So if it works so good on balding golf players, guess what it does for ladies who want to keep their complexion clear, okay, and their face clear. So fruits and vegetables, if it isn't for your health, it's for your face. Usually vanity works much better than health. Then we have water. Make sure you have enough water. So buy fertilizer. How many fruits and vegetables? You should have at least 5 a day. Let's do a quick count. How many do you have for breakfast? Anybody who had a fruit or a vegetable for breakfast? You had 0? Whole day. Okay. Banana, that's 1. Anybody else?
Strawberries.
The strawberry. 1 strawberry? Let's have enough strawberries to make about a cup, or 3/4 of a cup. That would be a serving. 1 serving of peas and carrots and corn. Okay, so that was for breakfast? Lunch, okay. What did you have for lunch? Okay, anybody else want to volunteer what they had for lunch?
Salami and cream cheese.
A fish taco, okay, that's good. But was the fish taco covered in fruits and vegetables?
Tomatoes and lettuce.
Tomatoes and lettuce, okay. And then for dinner, what did we all have?
Anyway.
Anyway.
I had a vegetable sandwich.
All right, vegetable sandwich. Okay, I like it. Are you a vegetarian?
Yes. Please don't
Okay.
yell at me.
What's your protein intake, right? I told you the protein combinations. Okay.
She's all over that too.
She's all over what?
She's all over the protein intake.
Oh, good. That's very
That was
good.
totally sarcastic.
Yeah, I was like, what?
I eat
Okay.
protein.
So this is why we have an issue with our health, you know, nationwide. It's because we don't take the things that protect ourselves. So if you don't have enough lutein, which comes from your red-colored fruits and vegetables, you're more likely to have prostate cancer. That's for men, right? Women don't do that. Did you know that?
Wait, what did you say, lutein is red color?
Lycopene. And lutein is for macular degeneration. You know, the longer you live, the more eye problems you get. And then beta-carotene, a whole range, all of those in fruits. They have never shown yet that eating fruits and vegetables is detrimental to your health.
I love fruits, except the fact that I love berries, but they keep giving me headaches. And
Aha, so you have some allergies.
I've been tested for food allergies. I guess it's some intolerance or something.
Yes.
I don't know.
You see, that's a very good point to bring up, because a test is only a test, and a test will measure certain things. So if you had a blood test, for example, and they measured that you had certain antibodies to fruits and vegetables or to berries, that still doesn't mean that the net outcome shows that you would be sensitive to it. It only says that your body reacts to this, but it doesn't say how your body in total reacts to it. So you always go back and forth. You have to be very careful with tests that you don't assume too much, and then you have to go try it. Best way to do it is, like you said, is eat something, see how you feel, and go from there.
Is there a difference between an allergy and an intolerance? Because I've had people tell me there is.
That is because the classical, we should read it as a classical. The majority of the medical doctors who practice allergy medicine say there's only an allergy if you have an IgE reaction, or also called, which results in an anaphylactic shock, or whatever, event like shrimp or peanuts. But you can have minor events, okay, which cause you to have a headache, or not be able to think, okay, or a range of different events cause, you know, your breathing to change. But the majority of the allergists say if there is no IgE, you don't have a food reaction, so they call it intolerance. Okay. But it's the same. You're not comfortable. That's what counts. Okay. Go a little bit further. We're almost there. Aha. In the United States, 90% don't get the fruits and vegetables per day, and only 5 ate no fruit. 1 in 5 ate no fruit. Okay, I guess all of you were pretty close to that. Only 28% of the Americans eat 2 servings of fruit a day, and 3% of Americans eat 3 servings of vegetables daily. Okay. What is the favorite vegetable that we eat in the United States?
Corn.
Potatoes. Potato.
You're not even close. It's
Broccoli.
French fries.
Well,
Not potatoes, it's French fries.
Fried
Sorry.
potatoes.
Yeah, well, you could say that, but there's a difference between French fries and potatoes. So, some changes. Alternate coffee and soda with water. 1 coffee, 1 water. Okay, that's how you wean off some of those habits. No sodas. They generally interfere with your digestion. You know, there's no bigger killer for your digestion than to have a cold drink with your meal. So imagine this. We're going to go to your favorite hamburger restaurants. We order something cheeseburger, right? And then they say, would you like to supersize that? And we say, go right ahead, we'll supersize that because it's a better deal, right? And we get the French fries with them also. And what do we get in also? Is we get the giant whatever, with lots of ice. Now, let's think about what happens at home. All of you at some point or other were forced to wash greasy dishes. If you had to wash greasy dishes in cold water, would you be very efficient? So what do you think that cold drink is doing in the stomach to the grease in the hamburger and the French fries? If you could see it, you would throw it up. Okay? So, it's not that I don't eat hamburgers or cheeseburgers. I just leave the cold drinks away because I don't want that stuff to look white and gooey and sit forever in my stomach. You know, what's the purpose of a restaurant? To make money for their stockholders. It's not to feed you. Okay? It's to make you believe that you just spent good money and had a good deal. And just because you're full with a giant Slurpee or whatever, doesn't mean that you had good nutrition. Okay? So you have to realize what you do. You're trading money for some convenience. You're really not trading money for nutrition. Eat breakfast. And I say with your kids. Oh, when Chris and I did some talks at P.O.T.S, they invited us to Homeland, and we did big classrooms, all these kids over here, and we asked, okay, who eats breakfast? They raise their hands, 3 kids. And then we say, okay, whose parents eats breakfast? The same 3 kids. Okay? Then we go to grammar schools. Who eats breakfast? Over half the class. Okay? And then we say, whose parents eat breakfast? None. Okay? Because what do kids do is they imitate what their parents do. Their parents are running off not eating breakfast. So as soon as these high schoolers get to the age to where their parents are not paying attention, they don't eat any breakfast. So now what happens to their grades? They're not too hot. What happens to their attention span? Not so good, but we can fix that, right? It's called Ritalin, Adderall, Vyvanse, you know. Here, let's start them early with good habits. Cook and eat at home. Okay, save money and do that 5 out of 7 days. So that gives you some hints and some ideas as to what. So now, anybody, any questions?
Okay, you have on here, drink at least 8 glasses of water. I've been told by multiple doctors, cardiologists and neurologists, that if I drink too much water, then it's just going to flush out the salt intake that I had from that day.
Yeah, it varies from person to person. So I fully agree with you. Some people more, some people less. It's amazing how people drink none. Okay, so you just have to look at it a little bit. You have to look at the balance, okay, for you, what works for you. This amount of salt and this amount of water gives me this kind of performance. That's the key thing that we're looking for. Now, if you feel very good and you go outside and now you're sweating outside, old ladies perspire. You don't sweat, sorry. Okay. So now you're going to have to intake. You have to readjust it. You're going to have more water, more salt. So you're absolutely right. You have to run a balance. The other thing that happens is that the more you drink, the more you will pee. Okay, that's simply that everybody does that. Because, you know, and so what happens is whenever you pee, it's never distilled water. It's always water with minerals from your body. So the more you tinkle, the more minerals roll out too. So you can get mineral deficient. So some people who drink too much, they get something called diuresis. They keep drinking so much water, get so thirsty, they start losing all the minerals. So there's a balance. So I say 8 as not too much, not too little, but vary it. Really see how you perform. How do you feel when you sit and you get up? Get dizzy? Okay, you probably need some more water, some more salt. Okay, that's all.
On that same note, I heard Dr. Oz say a good way to tell if you're getting the proper balance is
always wondered how I was going to read my books on the wall.
What are you guys doing in the bathroom? You're always in there for hours.
All right.
Like a library.
Why not? But is that fine print or bold?
Okay. But my multivitamins can make it change color.
Well, yeah, it will, but it's a function of how much water and how much is dissolved in there. Yeah, so if you go to the bathroom and it really smells very strongly, are you taking too many vitamins or did you just eat asparagus? Remember that one, asparagus?
Oh, yeah.
Really,
Yeah.
you can tell. So it's a little bit of how you do
You don't
it.
eat
The
it
other
in a
part
day.
about vitamins is, how do you feel when you take this, okay? Do you actually feel a little more energy or do you feel a little more assured that you're not getting the colds like you used to? So it's a little balance. You can't really tell by the color, but I will tell you that if your pee is like water, it's totally clear, you have no protection, right? It's better to have a little bit of color because if your body, it's better to have it and not need it than to need it and not have it.
What do you mean by no protection?
No, but there's not, you're better off having a little excess and spilling it into the urine.
Minerals.
Minerals and vitamins, for example, B2, riboflavin, gives that nice yellow color. It's better to have a little color than you know that you have more than you need. If, real simple. Let's talk money. Would you rather have just enough, or maybe don't know that you have enough, or have more than you need? Have more than you need. That's always a little bit better. Any other questions?
I have two, actually. The importance of electrolytes.
Electrolytes, that is salt and
That's
potassium.
salt.
Okay, and that's also your salt, potassium, phosphorus, calcium, magnesium. So it's a wide range of those. So if you just have salt, then you're missing some of the other electrolytes. That's why you want to go to fruits and vegetables. They all have a wide range of electrolytes, and they all concentrate electrolytes. So if you have fruits and vegetables, you have more electrolytes than what you would have in water.
And the electrolytes is what helps the minerals.
The electrolytes, basically, there's always a balance of salt and the rest. Why does your body pump out the salt almost as fast as you take it in? It's because the salt is out of balance to the magnesium and the calcium, so you're just looking for the balance in there.
Okay, so if we eat 6 or 7 times a day, one of the things we'd like to do in our group, especially for students, because it's very hard for them to eat 6 or 7 times a day when they're in the classroom. And so we want to make sure that part of our awareness that it's very important for them to eat like every 2 or 3 hours something, munching on carrots or.
The reason for that is because if you have a big meal, all your blood goes to your belly.
Right.
Okay, so now it doesn't go to your brain. Everybody knows that. What happens after Thanksgiving? We watch football. We fall asleep, right? Or we watch football. We can't move. That's because all the blood is right here, and all we can do is watch. Okay, and that's Thanksgiving for too much food. So if you have smaller meals, you don't overload your system. If you have bigger meals, then you may need to take a nap afterwards. You have a question.
On the student note thing, it's hard to get schools to let you have food with you.
I know.
Like I've talked to some teachers and they'll let you have like a bag of like cashews or something, because I used to bring like salted snacks, or I'd put like a protein bar in my purse and eat it like on the way to class, like in the hallway. But you really can't have those like in class because teachers get really fussy about it, and especially like if you're in computer classes or anything like that, they don't really let you do that.
What you do is ideal. When you go from one class to another class. And if
Yeah.
it makes a difference for you, then you go talk to your physician and you get a prescription or a note from them, and you solve the issue that way.
And that is part of our awareness that we want to do, is we
Yeah.
want to make sure that you have water bottles during the day, because
Mhm.
I know now you can't take water bottles because they might just have vodka in it, and water bottles are hard to have in schools. And for us, it's very hard to do. Water bottles have been banned from our high school in Capel because there's vodka. This looks like vodka, I guess. So one kid probably drank vodka, and now no one can drink water.
Unless they do by the airport, right? You can only have water if you buy it in the school store.
Yeah, you have to buy it inside the gate.
Yeah, inside gates.
Exactly.
I used to buy clear Gatorade and pour it in my water bottles because we weren't allowed to have Gatorade, so.